and then allow development to come in and be done on an as-of-right basis. And then with respect to the OMB, this is old-style politics, putting always the blame on somebody else. The fact of the matter is that the City of Toronto Act gives the city power to set up its own arbitration panel if it chooses to, but council is unwilling to do it because the OMB is a very convenient excuse for them. If you want someone who's actually going to take decisions, you want them to be your mayor.
Remember that the conversation was that the city said clearly it had its priorities, it wanted money for streetcars, and that's what we worked hard to deliver. But if the issue is about who's going to be able to influence the provincial government, I think I'm well positioned to do so. But the point that I would make to all of you, and it really builds on what Rocco just said, is as Torontonians, we've got to stop pretending that we don't have power over our own destiny, which is exactly what you're hearing is the same old story. In Adam LeVon's ward, the most intensive area for development, only 3 projects have gone to the OMB because they brought the community in at the front end. We don't have to rely on the OMB. We talk about the official plan, but we don't put the effort into the development, like Rocco said, of the secondary and the precinct plans, which allows the developer to go in an interpretive dance at the OMB, and Torontonians have the power to stop that. And I propose that we do so by bringing planning down to the community level, by advancing precinct and secondary plans that include appropriate protections and inventory of heritage buildings. That's the way that we can preserve the Toronto that we want and see it grow, which is necessary, obviously, for progress.
Toronto, and we have to begin to do that. But we won't be able to get council on our side unless all of us work together to do that, unless the doors are open at City Hall. So I'm inviting you, the people, to come into City Hall and help us build the city we want. Help us protect our heritage buildings. It's so important. I've suggested that we pre-zone areas and pre-designate areas. That way we can shape the city the way we want to shape it. And together we can work together to build this city, to protect our heritage properties. And I'm asking you to step up to the plate and vote for me so that we can do this. Thank you.
This costs money, ladies and gentlemen. But if we're going out and spending $6 million, for example, to remove 1 lane on Jarvis Street and replace it with 2 bike lanes, there's a problem with spending here. If we're going to go out and budget $43 million on St. Clair right-of-way, and it comes in over $120 million, we're squandering $80 million there. Again, this is mismanagement of your hard-earned tax dollars. The Peter Street Shelter, we budgeted $5 million. Now we're up over $11.5 million. So equivalent to $275,000 per bed. 40 beds, you can buy a condo for that matter. Ladies and gentlemen, Heritage Toronto needs the money. What we have to do is go to the private sector. Every year, I donate $200 to Heritage Toronto out of my own personal pocket. And I think everyone can afford $50 or $100 who's sitting in this room if you truly care about the heritage in this. We can't sit here and lean on the province or the federal government because there's only one taxpayer, ladies and gentlemen. It's you and I. Thank you.
I have some listings here, like a little Trinity Church right next to the Eaton Centre, which was threatened when the Eaton Centre was about to be built. Old City Hall, which was also threatened by one of my favorite mayors, Mayor Nathan Phillips, when he was proposing to build the new City Hall. The waterfront, particularly where I live, in Lakeshore, Etobicoke South, it's a lovely place where I go for a walk every morning and have a conversation with our ancestors. Rouge River in Scarborough, I would love to see that protected as a natural heritage. And then we have Regent Park. Regent Park was the first development of its kind as a housing project to house those that were in need of shelter. It became the model for the rest of Canada. And I think, like I said, as a forward-looking concept, heritage must also look to our past as it is today, as it is being built even today. So the properties themselves are not exhaustive, and let's not close off the categories, and now I have to stop. Thank you very much.
It's such a great process, a democratic process, and you're all taking part, so thank you all for coming. I want to tell you a little bit about my vision. I see a city with beautiful boulevards and buildings, a city with an expansive subway system, a line out to the airport, out to Scarborough, a downtown relief line, a city that respects and protects our heritage properties, city that cares for those in need and enables our entrepreneurs to create more jobs here in our city. I'm the only entrepreneur here on stage. I have built businesses from the ground up. Toronto has a leadership and a management issue. We have to get that under control. People say we have a spending issue, we have a planning issue. It all comes down to leadership and management. I know how to build consensus and lead Toronto on the world stage. I'd like tonight to ask you to join me in a vision of a city where our entrepreneurs, our youth, our business owners, and our people get a better shot at achieving our dreams. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I want to say to all of you who have hung in, thank you very much. It demonstrates a lesson that I think is reflective of my values, which is there is at the community level, at the neighborhood level in our city, an intense desire for people to build an even better city together. I've had the privilege of being trained around matters of heritage by some of the best and living in some really, really old properties that have taught me an awful lot. I have a track record of working with community to help to preserve and protect and enhance heritage protections, and I want to put that track record to work as a mayor. I think that tonight's been a good discussion, but you can see that some people have boned up on the subject just for tonight, and other people have lived the subject for many, many years. Count me in the latter category, and if you elect me as a mayor, count me as a mayor that on day one will be prepared to work with you to build the partnerships that are necessary to offer the long overdue protections for the great buildings and the natural heritage features and the cultural areas of the City of Toronto. Thank you very much.
My thanks to the organizers for putting together this debate on such an important issue. My thanks to all of you for being here. My thanks to my competitors at the table for adding their thoughts as well. One of the great benefits and joys of studying history is that in history we find people who believe in us more than we believe in ourselves. The investments that were made by our forefathers, the sacrifices made, were big thinking sacrifices, big thinking long-term plans. And along the way we've lost our way. Not the city, but City Hall. City Hall isn't half as good as the city it purports to lead. And that has to change. Now for over 100 years, we've never elected a mayor who wasn't a sitting councillor or career politician. And as my parents taught me, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing every time and expecting a different result. It's time for a different result. You need a different kind of leader to do that. I hope that on October 25th you vote for me and take back your city.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you're sick, you go to a doctor who's got a lot of experience. Because they know what needs to be protected in your body and what needs to be changed. If you're trying to run a city as complex as Toronto, Canada's largest city, you better have somebody who's got experience. Because you know what? If you have somebody who's got good intentions, somebody said the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Because it's going to be trial and error. Except the errors are going to be made and the city's going to suffer. The vision, I didn't interrupt you, Mr. Rossi. Please. My vision of Toronto is one of an amazing city that can be a fantastic city. People dreamed of the city in the past generation. That's why we have now the 4th best city in the world to experience culture, according to a magazine out of Washington, D.C. And that means you have to invest in a city, in its future, be it in infrastructure like transit, or in people, or in heritage. Joe Pantalone has done the walk. Go look at Exhibition Place, the amazing heritage buildings there. Go speak to Stephen Oro, who endorses me in terms of the work that we've done with Fort York, the 170th anniversary, and the Bicentennial War 12. Joe Pantalone's vision is for an amazing city, a city to Paris, a road which will bring us a road to Paris, not a road to Detroit, like some others are arguing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul, for moderating this debate. Thank you, Heritage Toronto, for having this discussion here tonight. I want to ask you one question. On Monday, October 25th, you're going to be asked to vote for 3 positions: a mayor, a councillor, and a school trustee. When you're trust with my hard-earned tax dollars? Who do I trust to make sure my phone calls were returned, my emails were responded to, there won't be any scandals when it comes to millions and millions of dollars? There won't be all of a sudden surprises of $1 billion here or $100 million here. Who's going to watch every single dime that is being spent at a city hall? I can tell you who it is. It's Rob Ford. I have 20 years of business experience. I understand how to create a job, how to meet a payroll, how to read a P&L statement. I know every nook and cranny down at City Hall. I have 10 years of political experience as being a city councilor representing Rexdale. You go up to Rexdale now and go back if you're there 10 years ago. It's like night and day. Ladies and gentlemen, this city will be like a brand new dollar bill when Rob Ford becomes mayor. Thank you very much.
Hold on, let Rocco make his statement.
Well, first I'd like to thank Heritage Toronto, Toronto Historical Association, Professor Bedford, and to all of you. I have one message to leave with you with all. Fear not. There's a lot of fear mongering. You're stoking our fears with wedge issues, with us being overcrowded and this place having to be immigration free. The mayor does not have any jurisdiction with respect to those issues. So what are our core issues? How do we inspire our people to greater heights? Don't tell me we are on the road to Paris. I think we are already greater than Paris. Lacking in the gold leaf statues, however. 2010 onwards, let us not, because of the past 4 years, punish ourselves for the next 4 years. We are good and great people, and were we to depend on government alone to achieve all the development in Toronto, to achieve all the great things that and all the great initiatives that are undertaken by private individuals and funded largely by private individuals, we would not be anywhere today. I am okay with Toronto because I know you. And I thank you all for sharing your time with me, and I thank you for